Okay, a while back I said I was going to do this, and now I'm going to do it. I'm going to compare the Swift 3 to the Recon M1. Oh, this thing doesn't like to open up on a snap very well, especially the coated blade. Check that out. And this thing just opens up whenever it wants to. Whoosh, just like that. All right, let's check these out. Okay, so why don't we just go by blade shape, blade size, blade steel. So right here you're looking at, check that out, same blade length on these things, right? Isn't it? Yeah, same blade length, 4-inch blade on the Recon 1 and the Swift 3. Now you're getting that drop point blade, which I like the drop point better. I'm not gonna lie, I like the drop point on that Swift 3 a little bit better than I like that clip point. Although the clip point has grown on me the last couple of years, especially on folders. I used to just not like it at all, but it's got a little bit better with me. So check that out. All right, now let's look at thumb studs. I'm gonna win with the Swift 3, especially on this one, because the Swift 3, you could have that tiny thumb stud on the other side, and even just with a little thumb stud, you're still gonna be able to smack it open because of that assist in there. However, this doesn't make it impossible, but that short little thumb stud on the left side, I don't know why they don't extend it to both sides. It doesn't make sense to me, but they don't. So thumb studs, gonna have to give it to the Swift on that one. So right now we're looking at Swift's winning on blade shape, Swift's winning on thumb studs. Now steel. Now if you look at the steel, you're gonna say, well, MagnaCut, that's the ultimate steel right now. It's the one that everybody wants, everything, and you can't hardly argue with that. However, because this is coated, because of the toughness of M4, in the race, yeah, MagnaCut. Everybody's gonna say MagnaCut. In this situation, on a pocket knife, either one of those is gonna do you the exact same. It's not, you're not gonna do anything with this that you can't do with that, or with this that you can't do with that. Especially with the coated M4, so you don't have to worry about it rusting over. The amazing corrosive, anti-corrosiveness of the MagnaCut is definitely up there, you know, in the prime thing, or in the plus category for the MagnaCut. So blade steel, gonna go with the Recon 1 for sure. If this was MagnaCut, that would be awesome. MagnaCut Swift 3, we might just have to throw this whole race away at that point, because yeah, that's awesome. All right, so now let's get into the handle. Now you look at handle length, you're gonna get a little bit extra handle on that Swift 3, but even with my wide hands, I have double X wide hands, and I get plenty of room on the Recon 1. So, and you have these grooves that are well placed. A lot of times when you get the pre-cut grooves for your fingers, they're just a little bit off, and you're trying to find that comfort zone. For me, it's not a problem. You get the exact place where you're going to go, and then if you got to get up here, it's still comfortable for these two. And back here on your the ring finger and your pinky, you're still getting really good comfort on that. And even up here, same difference. So this handle is amazing. This handle is awesome. They did a great job on the handle of the Recon knife, the Specialist M1 here. Very fantastic. Love this knife. Now let's get into the handle of this one. This just feels like a universal handle. This feels like, because my hand might be different than yours, it might not fit the same way mine does here. I don't know. But this is a more universal handle. It's got that first good cutout, and then it's got kind of a not as dedicated second finger cutout. So it's not really as deep as this one. So you're getting more of a, that would feel good for everybody. However, for my hand, being as wide as it is, this feels really good. This feels good. Now, in like this position, like if I was just gonna go stabbing things, I think this one would be better, but I don't know how often I'm gonna be using this position, especially since that one time when I was stabbing as a kid. And anyways, yeah, blood, you know, just different things. But yeah, so I don't do a lot of hard stabbing anymore. Okay, so now clip the pocket clip is not even a contest, because this has a decent clip on it. You're going to be able to get that on your pants. You know, you got enough space in there to slip it into your jeans and make it into the clip zone. This, however, it's not as bad as the old school clips. I mean, you still got a little bit of space, but man, that's still really, really, really tight. I get the pocket clip simulator out. The pocket clip simulator. Let me see. So bring out the pocket clip simulator. All right, so here we go. Let's see how this works here. So yeah, it's just about as thick as your jean pocket's going to be. That's good. That's not too bad. It's not as bad as the old school, the super old school pocket rippers. So that's not bad. Let's see. Is this an old school pocket ripper? Let's see this Colossus here. Yeah, see that. It's not as bad as the old school ones here. There we go. So, but if you look at this M4 pocket clip, it should be nice and smooth. Watch, smooth, and it feels good, and it's not going to rip your pocket when you take it out. It's going to be good. So I think pocket clip, we're going to give this decent victory over this one. Not a horrible, like this isn't horrible, but this is just a better pocket clip for that kind of EDC knife. Lanyard hole, look at that bad boy. You can get all the lanyard you want in there. You can stick a climbing rope in there. For folks that are trying to do lanyards, that's a pretty tiny hole there. But you know, a lot of people don't like lanyards, so I'm gonna go with this one on lanyard hole. Not that that's a big deal. Okay, so this is, now see, this is a reversible pocket clip all by itself. So if you want to reverse this, it's going to be just flip it over and fill up that hole. This one, you're going to have the left-hand pocket clip with you to flip it over and stick it there. So that's going to still go towards this on the pocket clip. Now this one's got an extra lock on it, so it doesn't open on you. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, so you don't have to worry about it. In the old Swifts, a lot of times they were opening. So in the Swift 2, they put that secondary lock on there. I guess if you're a serious street fighting knife guy, that might get in your way. But if you're just using this for normal people, non-awesome dude type wear, then that's not a problem. All right, now here's the real big deal that you're looking at, and I think is the lock on here. The thing with the old Swift, didn't have that really strong triad lock. This one doesn't have the triad lock, obviously, but it does have the Atlas lock, and they have done so much strength testing on that thing, and we know how strong it is. Is it as strong as the triad lock? We can debate that one way or the other, but as far as just claiming that one is better than the other, I think for being able to have an assisted knife with that kind of strength on the lock and the fidgetiness and the ability to close it one-handed because of that lock, that's amazing. The Swift 3 is an amazing knife. So I think you have to give the lock strength or the lock overall. If you want a lock strength, you got to give it to the Recon, but I think overall lock, I'm going to go with the Swift. I think I like the Atlas lock better than I do the Triad in this situation. So if I had to buy one of these knives, I would go with the Swift. The Swift 3 is awesome. If you're starting to get old man hands, which I'm not. I mean, my hands are still really strong. But if you're starting to get older hands and you're not want to deal with a lot of pushing the Triad lock, this is a good knife. This is an awesome knife. If this knife, let's just start this as the 100 knife, then this is like a 96 or 98. You can't get better in the pocket hardly than the Recon. Either one of these is just about equal to each other. However, if I had to spend the money, all right, let's just say this. If I had to spend equal money, I would buy the Swift 3 each and every time. I'm not sure what the cost on these are. And then you have the liners in here, the steel liners. A lot of that is for the assisted opening. I've never ever seen any of the G10, just G10 lined or G10 folders, cold steel break from any kind of normal use. And if you ran a tractor over it or smashed it repeatedly with a sledgehammer, maybe so. But nobody in normal uses or even hard use is going to break that. So I don't think the liners really come into play as far as one way or the other. So if I had to just carry one of these forever, I think I'm going to go with the Swift 3. I like the assist. And the reason I like the assist is because you can close it easily. If it was a normal assist where you had to like use two hands to close it, that would be a problem. But being able to close an assist with one hand, that's a huge deal. So for my particular taste, just overall knife without reckoning the price. I don't want to look at the price and go that way, but just overall knife, the Swift 3. And both of these knives, comparing these knives to other knives in their category and price range, you can't hardly beat any of these with the same amount of money for different knives. So both awesome knives. Swift 3 got the victory for me. And let me know what you think in the comments. Am I totally off? Do you have both of these? Have you tried both of these? Is there a reason that you like the clip point or the drop point? And let me know. All right. To you who suggested this, I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you later.